presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Justin Verlander has absolutely owned Camden Yards. The Tigers right-hander 7-1 career in this ballpark, a 2.63 ERA. We expect more of the Verlander magic here tonight. Great night for baseball. Welcome to Baltimore, Tigers and the Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here for Game 2 of the series. Tigers, big lead last night. They hold on and get the victory, Rod. They've won 3 consecutive games. Now, JV on the hill, and I don't know what it is about this ballpark, but he feels awfully comfortable here.
Well, you gave the numbers. What he's been able to do in this ballpark against, by and large, very good offenses has been amazing. Verlander gets it done with a really good breaking ball, gets a predominantly right-handed lineup. He also has that power fastball. He also has the changeup and the slider. He hasn't beaten the Orioles overall since 2014, so he'll really have to work tonight against this offense that scores a lot of runs in this particular ballpark. I expect a very competitive baseball game tonight.
All right, Tigers going for their 4th consecutive win. Game 2 in the series just minutes away, and right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios and Mickey York.
most of the night last night, but a much different story here tonight. Clear skies, beautiful venue here, Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and here's the Tigers starting lineup tonight for Game 2 in the series, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Kinsler, Adduci, and Upton in your top 3 spots. Miguel Cabrera is batting cleanup. Castellanos at third. Victor Martinez, the DH. And a bottom 3 of Matuk, McCann, who's got a really good hitting streak now at 13 games. And Iglesias will follow him. Tigers tonight facing Kevin Gausman. He is presented by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors.
Overall, Gausman has not had a great year, but in his last 3 outings, he's pitching some of his best baseball of his career. 1 earned run in his last 20 innings. He's got a power fastball, 97, 98. But it's been the split finger fastball usage and the breaking ball usage that has gone up, and it's really allowed him to compete and have a lot of success lately. Let's take a look at the Baltimore Orioles starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, they have Gentry, Jones, and Rickard. That's the same way they started in the outfield last night. Machado, Beckham, Scope, Davis in the infield. That's the way they lined up as well. Last Edman and Joseph is the only change tonight at the catcher's position.
We're just about ready for baseball tonight as Ian Kinsler settles into the batter's box. Tigers a winner last night, racing out to a 7-0 lead. Kinsler Upton had first inning homers. And eventually the Orioles chipped away, but the Tigers held on. 3 straight wins for the ball club going into tonight. And our first pitch is a strike called on Ian. Kinsler last night 1 for 3 with the homer. He also had a walk, his 10th home run of the year last night. Gausman's 0-1 is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Real nice night here at the ballpark tonight. 83 at game time. A few clouds, not much. And a ball down low, 2-1.
I know Kevin Gausman is really enjoying the weather here tonight. His last start was in Texas. And you all know how hot it can get in Texas. About 95 degrees when he took the ball last week.
Bouncing ball third base side. Easy hop there for Machado, and 1 gone. Here's the umpiring crew for the ball game tonight. Your home plate umpire is Doug Eddings. Jeff Nelson at first. He is the crew chief. Roberto Ortiz and Corey Blazer round out the infield. Tillman last night really struggled early on. Of course, the stop and start with the rain delay probably didn't help him much, but the Tigers got to him quite a bit.
And Tillman might be in jeopardy of losing his spot in the starting rotation.
Yeah, it's been a slow go for him this year, to be sure.
The way that kid Castro pitched last night, I would not be shocked if Castro got the ball 5 days from now.
Jim Adduci was 0 for 2 last night, but he did score a couple of walks. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Gausman has a big arm. And former #1 draft choice back in 2012.
Swing and a miss by Adduci. 96 that time from Gausman. Waiting on deck is Justin Upton. Gausman working quickly. Drilled in the air to left field. That ball is hit well. Going to the track, to the wall, leaping, and it's gone. A home run for Jim Adduci to the opposite field. #1 on the season for Adduci, and the Tigers had the lead. And it's starting to look a lot like last night.
Yeah, boy.
One of the things that I've admired about Adduci is the fact that he really can drive the ball the opposite way. That's a 2-seam fastball at 96. That's tailing away from Adduci. He did a very simple swing, sliced the ball the opposite way, and it landed in the front row. Great effort by Gentry, the left fielder.
Oriole fan threw it back. Tiger fan was cheering. 1-0 Tigers. And here is Upton. He looks at ball 1. First major league home run since August of 2014 for Jim Adduci. The 1-0 is in there, a strike called. 1-1 on Upton.
It appears that Gausman's going to come out here tonight and establish his fastball first time through the lineup. But we've been told he's been using his split-fingered fastball a lot these days.
J-Up swings right through it at 97 with some run on it.
I've never understood, Mario, why this guy has not been a bigger winner in the big leagues.
You know, when we see him in the postseason in 2014,
right?
And he shut the Tigers down, and you got a glimpse of what he could be.
He had a losing record last year, but his earned run average was not bad. He did not get a lot of run support.
The 1-2 laid off.
But Baltimore still feels like Kevin Gausman is their ace of the future, and you can kind of see why with the kind of stuff that he has whenever he puts it all together.
Well, he is thrown like an ace in his last 3 starts. The 2-2 fouled away.
Here is the scouting report on Gausman. First pitch of an at-bat give him issues. That would be against his fastball mostly. That's a .542 batting average. The chase rate very high on this cheese upstairs. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. You have to lay off that pitch.
Full count now on Upton.
Now that's been his issue this year based on balls. He's walked 52 coming into the contest. It's a high number for just 120 innings pitched.
Here's the 3-2. That'll get back out of play. Well, one thing is for certain, they are going to need Gausman to pitch well down the stretch. We saw what Tillman did his last time out, which didn't help their cause last night. The Orioles have their sights set on a wild card, as do the Tigers right now. Tigers come in 6 games back, but a bunch of teams ahead of them. Ground ball, fair ball down the line at third base. This will be extra bases. Upton is on his way to second, and J-Up has a double. Back-to-back extra base hits off Gausman.
The home run that Adducey hit out of the ballpark was 96 miles an hour. This is the two-seam fastball he tried to sneak inside on J-Up, and you all know that J-Up's hands are lethally quick these days. He roped that right down the third baseline for another double. Justin Upton's on pace this year for 76 extra base hits.
Oh, man.
I mean, you kidding me?
Well, we saw what could be in the second half of last year when J-Up absolutely caught fire.
His bat right now is so quick.
It's been more of an even performance this year from the get-go. RBI chance now for Cabrera. Strike one on Miggy. That ball seemed inside. Cabrera backed out.
Well, one of the things that Baltimore has always done against Miguel Cabrera, they've always pitched him inside.
2 at-bats last night, Rod, for Miguel, which certainly seemed to indicate that perhaps he's going to get going. That double that hit the other way, and then a hard ground ball to the shortstop.
Yeah, he did hit a couple of balls hard in last night's game. Good sign for him.
0-2.
So far, just about every pitch that Gausman has thrown here in the first inning has been a fastball.
1 for 4, couple of RBIs last night for Cabrera. Trying to cash in Upton. Ball high. Another fastball, that one in 95. Cabrera has not been doing a whole lot of smiling lately, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, Jim Leyland always talked about the fact that he felt like Miguel Cabrera had the best smile in baseball. But you're right, he hadn't been smiling a lot lately.
The 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that was a splitter there that he missed with. If you haven't watched us the last number of days, as we get one look at the split-fingered fastball that he yanked to the outside corner, when you see those red dots in the strike zone, those are pitches thrown 95 miles an hour and above.
And we're seeing a whole lot of red dots here early on for Gausman.
And take a look at where they're pitching Miggy. I mean, consistently trying to pound Miguel Cabrera on the inner third of home plate. That's what a lot of teams have taken the liberty of doing basically all season. And it kind of started last year.
Tigers doing a good job early on here of making Gausman work. 21 pitches. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Ooh, Miggy a little upset with himself. He got a hanging breaking ball there from Gausman. He fouled it straight back.
Look on his face said it all, didn't it?
Yes, it did. He had a good swing at it. Boy, you know when you go up against a guy like Gausman, when he does make that mistake with the breaking ball, you have to make him pay.
Again, the 2-2. Wasted back out of play.
Justin Upton and both Miguel Cabrera spoiling some really good pitchers thrown by Gausman here in the first inning, and they've got that pitch count up to 23 right now.
Right now a 7 pitch at bat for Miguel. The home run by Ducey has made it 1-0 early on here for the Tigers. Swing and a miss, and he finally got him. Cabrera down on strikes at 98. Gausman reaching back. His first strikeout, 2 gone.
That is a 4-seam fastball right there. That's why the velo went all the way up to 98.
Here's Castellanos. Nick 0 for 4 last night. $15 homers this year for Nicholas. Time given to the catcher, Caleb Joseph.
So far this year in 0-0 counts, the batting average against Gausman coming into the game was over 500. That's because he likes his fastball. That's because he throws lots of fastballs on the first pitch.
Breaking ball that time missed low, 1-0. Jim Ducey with an opposite field home run for the Tigers off Gausman here to make it 1-0. Third home run of the series now for the Tigers. Here's the 1-0. Tigers, as Brad Ausmus likes to say, is a team built to slug, and they've been much better when they homer. They win many more games when they hit home runs. The numbers have spelled that out this year. Nicholas on the season has hit 15 of his own, and he has knocked in 57. Fouled away, 1-2. Speaking of games with home runs, the Chevrolet most dependable player are the players that hit the homers for the Tigers. Here they are. Games with a homer, they're 46 and 28. Without, a much different story. Low and away. And I would think, Ron, as the Tigers kind of rebuild this roster now and get younger, quicker, more athletic, that those numbers will even out a little bit where they can start winning some games without leaning on the home run.
I would agree with that 100% because they are making a very conscious effort of getting a lot younger, getting a lot leaner, getting more athletic. And if they do that, then they're going to have some guys that can run, and they're going to win a lot more close ball games.
Driven to short and caught by Beckham. A solid line drive. Castellanos is out, and the Tigers 7-1. One big swing of the bat by Jim Ducey. Opposite field homer. 1-0 Tigers. juicy home run. The Tiger starter tonight is Justin Verlander, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And 22 starts so far for the talented right-hander. Always pitches his best baseball right here at Camden Yards, very close to his home, and he has a lot of family and friends in attendance. Expect Justin Verlander to go out and pitch a very good game once again here in Camden Yards.
Adam Jones will be the first Oriole he will face in this ball game. Jones back in the leadoff slot these days. Had a good game last night, 2 out of 3, walked a couple of times.
He has seen Verlander a bunch. 41 career at-bats against Justin Verlander, more than anybody else on their team.
Fouled back out of play 0-1.
One thing about this Orioles squad, they won't do what a lot of teams try to do against Verlander, and that's wear him down and take a lot of pitches. They will be up there swinging all night long. These guys don't walk that often.
3 homers in the career of Jones against JV. There's a ball outside, 1-1.
Verlander's average fastball so far this year, 95 miles an hour. And really the first time he's averaged 95 since in 2011. And that was the MVP Cy Young year for Justin.
Well, you mentioned the walks, and they have been up for Justin this year. 60 base on balls, second most in the American League. And his walks per 9 are really at the highest point of his career. Here's the 2-1. Drill to right center field. Matuk is on the run, and Mikey runs it down.
What a great jump by Mikey Matuk in center field.
That ball was scalded.
But the jump that he got, he took a direct route to get to the baseball, and that's the only reason why he was able to run it down.
Jones has got to be thinking, how did I not get a double out of this?
I mean, he was off at the crack of the bat. He was playing on the other side of the bag and took off and ran it down and had room to spare.
Here is Manny Machado. Machado at 248. Takes ball 1 high. A couple of RBIs last night for Machado. Had a sac fly and drove one in with a ground ball. Otherwise 0 for 4.
Good pitch. Fastball count comes back with a little slide piece at 86. And really, as a hitter, when you're looking for a fastball, all you could do is watch it go by.
Machado flares that one foul, back out of play. Manny in the second half starting to pick it up. 321. He had a very slow first half. Yet 18 homers, 55 driven in. Very talented player. Here's the 1-2.
First time Verlander has gotten up to 95 with his fastball. That last reading registered at 96 miles an hour.
Now the 2-2 offering. Low ball 3.
And with Verlander and Kevin Gausman pitching for the Baltimore Orioles, that red dot's going to get a little work tonight.
It already did with Gausman.
He got a lot of work yesterday with that kid Castro.
Oh, no kidding, man. 3-2 is fouled back. Miguel Castro came in, retired the last 12 he faced, and kept his team in the game. Gave them an opportunity to come back, and the Orioles very nearly did.
He sure did.
Here he is.
Let's just hope we don't have to see him for the next couple of days, which I doubt.
Right. Line drive, base hit, left center field. Oh, Machado is aboard with a 1-out single. Here's the rest of the Orioles lineup presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Jones, you saw Machado. Jonathan Scope coming up next. Davis, Beckham, and Rickard in the middle of the lineup as well For the Orioles, Smith, Joseph, and Gentry will round things out. There it is. Caleb Joseph, 340 since July the 1st. He's been really hot behind the dish for Baltimore. Speaking of really hot, Jonathan Schoop, 79 RBI, second in the American League.
He was an all-star this year. He loves to swing at the first pitch, too.
Strike one, inside part of the plate. He thought it missed.
Let's take one look at this location of this breaking ball that Manny Machado hit for a base hit. If you see that location, most of the time that's a swing and miss. But what Verlander did not do in the previous pitches, he did not show Manny one pitch inside. So Manny was looking away, so he went out to get a pretty good pitch, and he was able to barrel it up. That's why you have to show inside every now and then, because when you make a pitcher's pitch like that, you don't want a guy putting it in play.
Matt Boyd was throwing a little bit inside last night, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Unfortunately, Boyd cannot stick around long enough last night. He didn't get 5 full innings in to get the victory. The 0-1. Low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jonathan Schoop. Schoop this year is taking that next step offensively. His walks are up, his on-base percentage is up. He has become, as they say, a little bit more patient at the plate. And that has led to better numbers. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Ooh, that's a good pitch. 90-mile-per-hour slider. In the past, when Verlander has had a lot of success in this ballpark, it's been the curveball that's been his go-to pitch, along with the mid-90s fastball. But these days, he's taking the liberty to bust out that slider to a lot of these right-handed batters. Not many changeups will be thrown tonight by Justin.
Low ball 2, and it did not miss by much. JV wanted the call there, didn't get it. Here are the numbers in 9 starts here at Camden Yards. His whip is a little bit over 1. Walks and hits per innings pitched. The 7-1 record, a .263 earned run average. And the other amazing stat, hitters batting only a little over 200 against him in this yard. Schoop swings and misses. Down he goes.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' starting defense behind their ace, Justin Verlander, tonight. They've got Upton, Montook, and Adduci in the outfield. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, and the big fella Miguel Cabrera round out the infield. And James McCann is catching his 5th consecutive game behind the plate. He's caught every game on the road trip.
Here is Chris Davis. A couple of walks in last night's game, ended up 0 for 2. Davis has scary power, as we know. I mean, he's been a guy that has hit a ton of home runs here for the Orioles. He has hit 10 of them on Utah Street, which is the street beyond the right field wall.
Look at the biceps, dude.
That's why.
Dude, I cannot imagine, or I don't remember anybody in the big leagues that have as big a biceps as this guy does. He hangs out in the weight room.
Big, strong power hitter, Chris Davis.
And he can find the seats in any direction. He's got that kind of power. Classic uppercut swing.
JV tried to get him to go fishing for that high fastball, wouldn't do it.
That's where you have to throw Davis. You have to go above the belt buckle because of the classic uppercut swing, because when he catches the ball down, that's where he does most of his damage. But if you stay up top with the fastball above the belt buckle, in the past he's had a difficult time of catching up to that pitch against Tigers pitching.
Went up there again. This time he got the call.
I would be shocked if every single pitch was right in that same area to Davis until he lays off of it.
2 strikes now. Nick will head to the other side of the infield, leaving Iglesias as the only defender on the left side. Let's see if he goes right back up there then. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He sure did. Davis out on strikes, and that's all for the Orioles. just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Kevin Gausman back at the hill. We've got Victor Martinez, Mikey Matuk, James McCann here in the Tigers' second. The Jim Adduci home run is the difference in this one. Check swing roller foul. Pretty good night last night for Victor, single double.
And Gausman came out throwing a lot of fastballs in the very first inning, and the first pitch of the second inning is an off-speed pitch to Victor.
We showed you the defensive alignment last night against Victor Martinez, which is extremely deep.
He beat that shift down in that direction last night, as well as he's done so many times this year.
Victor is one of those guys that has such good bat control that sometimes you wonder if it really pays to play this kind of shift against him.
I would agree with that. Victor won a few batting titles in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Indians before he even came to the big league, so he's always been able to hit.
Down he goes, a swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Gausman, one gone.
Looks like we're in for a really nice competitive baseball game here today with both of these guys, Verlander and Gausman, having very good arms and very good secondary pitches, and both guys pitching well in their last number of outings.
Well, we kind of expected as much. Last three for Gausman have been very good. Last five for JV, outstanding.
Hopefully the Tigers can score a few more runs for Verlander, because really by and large all year they haven't given Justin a whole lot of run support.
No balls, one strikeout, Mikey Matuk.
Boy, that play he made against Adam Jones in the first was a really good play.
And boy, does it change the complexion of the inning. I mean, that's a leadoff double otherwise.
That ball was smoked off the bat of Adam Jones. You notice how aggressively these Orioles pitch inside?
Yes.
All of them do.
All of them.
They all pitch inside.
0-2 on Matuk.
He missed with his location that time, but Joseph, the catcher, wanted that ball inside.
He also works at a very quick pace. And it bounces in, ball two.
I like that.
Who doesn't? Especially after all the rain delays we've had the last couple of nights. Got him, strike three in the outer edge. Matuk is caught looking. Third strikeout now for Gausman. Bring up James McCann now. Stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites. Now being served all day, and it just might be James McCann. Who knows?
He's been a candidate every single night since he's been streaking.
Mac at 13 straight games now, which ties him with Francisco Lindor for the longest current hitting streak. And he'll take a ball that paints the outside corner. 0-1.
And with Avila being traded to the Chicago Cubs, McCann has gotten his starting job back, and he's really produced lately.
0-2, and Gausman's starting to feel it now.
Gausman, one of those guys that you have to get early, and they did get him early for one run, because once he starts to settle in, he starts to get nasty.
Just a little bit outside. Now the 1-2. McCann now with 10 home runs, 31 driven in, and with the recent stretch he's been on, that average up to a respectable 251. That guy's bumming.
Got a Showalter jersey on and everything.
Hit the other way and flagged down there by Scope. Quick throw, got him.
Oh, what a play.
1-2-3 inning. What happened to this guy? Oh, man. Oh, bad luck there.
Oh, he whiffed on it and he dropped all his groceries.
The second, Justin Verlander back to the hill, gave up a single in the first, but no damage. It'll be Tim Beckham to get things started now for the Orioles. Beckham, Rickard, and Smith. The early returns on Tim Beckham awfully good. The Orioles have to be real excited. They traded for him at the deadline, and all he's done is go 6 for 12 or make it 7 for 12 as an Oriole.
With 5 extra base hits. So he's doing some damage. We were talking about him last night and the fact that we were kind of surprised that the Tampa Bay Rays would give up on him after he had been in their organization for 8 years, and he finally seemed like he was putting everything together.
And the Orioles gave up an 18-year-old pitcher to get him. High fly foul, and not even really a top-tier prospect either. So apparently Beckham had just fallen out of favor.
Right. He homered in last night's game. First ever meeting against Justin Verlander from Griffin, Georgia.
It was the high school draft, the first round pick in 2008 by the Rays. That's in the air to right center field. Matuk was on the run again. Still going, and that ball is gone. Beckham has hit his second home run in the series, and he has tied the ball game.
What in the world has gotten into Tim Beckham?
His career high 14th homer. Both of them to the opposite field.
That's a cutter slider at the top of the strike zone, and he was able to generate a lot of bat speed here. 101 mile per hour off of his bat the opposite way.
Pretty impressive. The home run he hit last night was down the right field line over the tall wall in right. That one sailed into the seats in right center. Joey Rickard, the batter. Rolled foul. So the Orioles get a home run of their own to tie this one up. Not only that, but Beckham has done some of his best work versus Tigers pitching. 345. The 0-2. Pop up, shallow center field. Kinsler And he'll drag it down right in front of Matuk for the first out. And bring up Seth Smith. Smith also has good power, 11 home runs. One of those this year against the Tigers. Tigers won 2 out of 3 between these two clubs back at Comerica Park earlier this year.
And they've got everybody swung around to the right side of the infield against the left-handed swinging Seth Smith. Wasn't Smith the former quarterback at Ole Miss?
He sure was.
Played behind Eli.
Eli Manning, his backup. I don't think he ever took any snaps. 3-year player in baseball, obviously, at Ole Miss.
Eli didn't let him get off the bench.
No, probably not going to get too many snaps with old Eli. No balls and 2 strikes. Of course, Smith played in Colorado with Todd Helton, who was Peyton's backup, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
0-2 on Smith. You know, the scouts say, Rod, that they love guys that play multiple sports, and especially if you can do it in college, obviously, but they love the kids in high school that are playing basketball or football and baseball.
Because you get so many different motor skills from different sports. Of course, football teaches you toughness. Baseball teaches you motor skills. Basketball teaches you a lot of athleticism along with soccer. So it's very important for kids, if they like to play sports, you may as well play multiple sports while you're young.
Do you think there's a chance of getting burnout for kids that play just one sport year-round?
Oh, for sure. I do believe that, especially kids that play baseball year-round, because it's such a failure sport. And kids, when they get a little older, because they played so much baseball, they tend to gravitate to other things, other sports. And it's a difficult sport, too. Baseball is not an easy game to play.
Our own Craig Monroe was a 3-sport star in high school, and Craig admits that when he was drafted as an athlete, so it took him a little while to really learn how to play the game of baseball.
I've always admired the scouts that not only go to the baseball games, but the scouts that go to the football games on Friday nights.
Right.
The scouts that go to the track meets on Friday nights, because those are where you find some really good athletes. And I think a lot of scouts are starting to do that again because of the way the game has kind of changed.
Here's the young fella that not only lost the foul ball, but his food as well in the last half inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Sliced foul back out of play.
You have a lot of high school coaches now. If you're a really good player, they will try to discourage you from playing other sports. If you're a really good baseball player, the high school coach will kind of discourage you from playing football on Friday nights.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think they want you, obviously, for themselves. But it's really beneficial, as most scouts will tell you, to get as much experience in other sports as possible, if nothing else, to prevent that burnout.
Seth Smith likes to choke up on that bat with 2 strikes.
He's really giving Verlander a long battle here.
Verlander's up to his uniform number 35. Did you know, I know you know this, but I know we have a lot of new fans. The reason why Verlander wears number 35, when he grew up, he loved Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas, of course, in the Hall of Fame, wore 35. And Verlander said that's why he started wearing the number.
Another foul. He wore, what, 59 in his first big league game.
You would think he'd pick a pitcher, though, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
But Frank Thomas, he loved him.
Smith has fouled off 6 2-strike pitches. We're talking about scouts hanging out in the track area to try and find some athletes. Remember Herb Washington? He was a track star.
Right.
And he finally got him. Strike 3 call. Took him a while, but Verlander finishes off Smith.
Outstanding breaking ball there thrown by Justin Verlander to catch Seth Smith looking. Just a beautiful pitch. It's still amazing to me that Justin Verlander could throw that curveball and not use the seams at all. He calls it a dry curveball. He does not use the seams, and yet still able to find a grip and get that kind of depth and bite on that pitch.
You know, it occurs to me, if you're not using the seams on the breaking ball, I wonder if that helps in avoiding blisters.
Well, that's why he started throwing it that way as far as the curveball is concerned, because his rookie year he started to get a lot of blisters, and that's where he adopted that new dry grip on the curveball. We'll try to get a good look. Let's throw one.
You know if anybody else in the big leagues that does that?
No, can't think of another guy, because the grip is what allows most guys to get the kind of bite and depth that they want.
2-1 on Caleb Joseph.
Verlander hasn't been using the changeup a lot lately. Mostly sliders, mostly curves, good fastballs.
Swing and a miss up top. JV 110 pitches in his last start, 119 the start before that, but he went 6 innings in his last start. The pitch count was elevated, starting to get up there now a little bit because of that at bat by Smith. The 2-2 fouled away.
Here's the usage on Justin Verlander. 65% with the fastball, 25% with the slider, 5% with the curveball and the changeup.
High fly ball left field, fairly deep but playable. It's going to be Upton to end the inning. The Orioles tie it up on the Beckham homer. Top of the third, gorgeous view of the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore, and we remind you to place a deposit on 2018 Tiger season tickets. Get up to 4 free games in 2017 plus priority seat selection for the 2018 season. Go to tigers.com/tickets or call 313-471-2255. Here come the Tigers now. It'll be the number 9 hitter, Iglesias, to get things started.
Iglesias, Kinsler, and Ducey. I've been convinced over the years that places like Cleveland and Chicago are the two stadiums where we see the most Tiger fans. We might have to put Baltimore on that list too.
Yep, close proximity to Detroit, and of course there's some wonderful Tigers fans right here in Baltimore.
Our hotel has many Tigers fans hanging out.
I just love the fact that you can walk home, you can walk to the ballpark, great restaurants everywhere, great people watching city.
Gosman will handle this one. Iglesias is out, one away. Since the double by Upton, 6 in a row have been retired.
Well, he has started to put a wrinkle in a couple of his pitches. He was fastball heavy in the very first inning. That was Gosman, and Ducey made him pay with a solo home run, and Jay Up also doubled down the left field corner in a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Ian Kinsler grounded out to the third baseman his first time up, but overall he has had Gosman's number.
Right through the fastball. 0-1. Ian now has been on base in 21 straight games.
It's the longest such streak in the majors. Jay Up has equaled him tonight, I believe, with 21.
The 0-1. This is a ballpark that Ian just loves hitting in. 354 coming into play tonight here at Camden Yards. Slice to right field, sinking, base hit. Kinsler on again. It's a 1-out single.
You had a feeling he would do something against Gosman because the numbers are so good.
Hey, let's check in now with Johnny Kane.
I guess we're over here in section 12.
Are you?
Here's my man right here. Hey, did you lose your dinner earlier? Did you lose your dinner earlier?
Yeah, all right there.
You're making a hustle play.
What's that?
You're making a hustle play, so we want to reward you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fox Sports Detroit. I know you got your Orioles gear on here with some chicken tenders and some fries, courtesy of the great city of Detroit.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your name, man?
Chase. Yeah.
All right. Better luck next time out there. Enjoy dinner.
I'm gonna get one.
I like the confidence, Ray. I like the confidence.
Thanks,
Hey,
Johnny.
listen.
Hey, Johnny, tell him he's got a wonderful smile, too.
All right, you got a good smile, brother. All right, man, take it easy.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Look at Johnny Kane, man. He's just making friends everywhere.
Absolutely. I love that.
Johnny's got a huge heart.
But you see him smile, though, because he was bumming.
He was bumming.
He was bumming.
He needed that food. And now the youngster has
Got some chicken tenders.
got a whole big plate of stuff there.
Yeah, he does.
Johnny, while you're down there, grab some from us, man.
No, seriously. I was going to steal a couple of fries on the way over, but I felt like that might not be the way to do it.
Half-eaten piece of chicken. Here you go, son.
Good work, Johnny.
All right, boys.
3-0 on a Ducey. The Tigers have a man on, a man out here in the third. The Deuce hit a homer back in the first. The opposite field to give the Tigers an early lead. Taking 3-0, 3-1. Dave Clark running through the signs at third. Ducey gives a look. Ducey's first home run this year. In the air toward right. Rickard is on the move. That ball carried out there. 2 gone.
If you didn't see this home run yesterday by Justin Upton, it was in the very first inning. It was against Chris Tillman, their starter, and it traveled 452 feet from home plate, and the hit speed was 109. It was a breaking ball. Torrey Hunter, when he played for the Tigers, he said he never used to like to miss his blessings. He said breaking balls were his blessing, and every time he got a breaking ball, he liked to hit it hard somewhere. That ball went 452 feet.
Torrey used to create some backspin, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Pulled foul down the third base line.
And first time up for Jay Up, he turned on a fastball that was 95 miles an hour and whistled it right past a really good third baseman in Manny Machado.
You know where Torrey got that saying from, and that actually teaching from?
Where'd he get it from?
Kirby Puckett.
Kirby Puckett.
Yeah, when he was a young Young buck for the Minnesota Twins, and Kirby, of course, was a veteran.
Yeah, don't miss your breaking ball, son. That's your blessing. That was a mentor of Torrey Hunter's, and then Torrey went on to mentor so many big leaguers.
Still is, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Upton waiting on an 0-1. Little bit high as Gausman did not get the call there. Jay up over the last 2 months has hit 300 each of the last 2 months, meaning June and July, trying to do the same here as we get into the month of August. Foul back, 1-2. Upton's presence in the lineup has become so much bigger now, with JD Martinez being traded to the Diamondbacks, and of course the struggles of Miguel Cabrera this year. But Upton has just continued to roll. Ball too low. Cabrera waiting on deck. Gausman, 26 years old, a native of Colorado. He goes 6'3", 190. Yanked foul, look out. Right into the seats. Oh,
she's okay.
Fortunately, she's okay. Mom says, see, that's how you do it.
Yeah, and her son, he's like really, really happy. Like, do it, Mom.
Johnny should go give her some chicken fingers too.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Mom might want a beverage.
Ooh, strike three.
Came out throwing a lot of breaking balls in the contest and had a lot of success with that breaking ball as well. Really, the only mistake he made was one that was up in the strike zone. That was to Tim Beckham. He's on fire. But then Verlander quickly readjusted, started burying that breaking ball back down to the bottom of the strike zone, and now he's back on point, having a really good game so far, still using that breaking ball.
Verlander back to the mound, throws strike one to Craig Gentry, who starts things off for the Orioles.
Does he throw a really easy 94 or what?
He does, man. You know, I kind of compare his windup and delivery to maybe a guy like Michael Fulmer, who's a little bit different. I mean, when Fulmer lets go with the baseball, it's just, here it comes.
Yeah.
When Verlander lets it go, it's just kind of zip right by him.
I mean, this guy has thrown over 2,500 pitches in the major leagues. I mean, he's just done so much, Verlander.
0-2. Bouncing ball to short, surrounded by Iglesias. Gentry hustling down the line is out by a step. Here is the AT&T reliability stat of the game. Most starts in Tigers history, Rod. Well, JV's starting to climb the list now.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to be with the Tigers for the foreseeable future, so I'm sure he's going to run down some of the other guys that are on the list.
Did you broadcast any of the Hooks Doss starts?
Nope, but I saw some of George Mullins.
Back in 02?
Yeah.
Mickey Lolish, 459 starts atop that list. Here's ball 1 to Adam Jones. I saw Mickey Lolish in spring training this year. We had an event at Joker Marchant Stadium along with a lot of the other former Tigers. Parrish and Tram was there and Morris was there, and we talked to Mickey about his day, and it obviously was so much different. I mean, those guys used to throw 300 innings a year. He and Denny McClain a lot of times.
Oh, they pitched doubleheaders.
They did, and you know, it was such a different time. I realized it, but it wasn't that long ago when you think about it. I mean, it was in the 60s, 70s.
Right.
But the game has certainly changed. And Mick would say our version of physical therapy was after a start, 1-1 is fouled away. If your arm hurt, you went into the shower and turned the water as hot as you possibly could get it. And you just let it roll on your shoulder and stay there as long as you could. And that was your therapy. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adam Jones. Out of play. Let's bring in Johnny Kane.
All right, guys, we had a little excitement here. I'm sitting with the Verlander family. We almost had a souvenir baseball. I'm here with Justin's mom and dad, Richard and Kathy. Well, that's all right. We didn't have a glove over there. I wanted to ask you, what do you think? Early impressions of your boy here?
Well, the slider's looking pretty good so far. These guys are tough, Baltimore, and you know, so it's going to be a battle. Justin's pitched well here over his career, but this is a good team. You know, we beat them last night, and you know, that's a tough lineup to get through. So hopefully we continue to battle.
Yeah, 7-1 here, 9 career starts at Camden Yards. Kathy, I have a picture here. I want you to take a look at this. Tell me about this boy.
That picture. I think he was he 1295? So he was 12 years old, All-Stars. He was so proud of that.
How much has that boy changed?
He's grown into those teeth, though, hasn't he? Yeah, very handsome. Yeah, very proud of him.
Well, we're all proud of him.
A boy here that played Little League with him. He's down there.
Catcher, his Little League catcher is actually here.
Yeah, he's down there.
He's a doctor. He's a heart surgeon now. So just another neat little story within our story about this kid who used to catch Justin and you know, went on to medical school, and now is really, you know, all these kids. It's so fun to follow them.
It's another great success story, and yeah, it's been beautiful, obviously, to watch, you know, Justin pitch here. I know he has a lot of friends that come. We were joking before the game. He said, you know, when he first came up, there were about 50 tickets he had for friends and family. He said, but after 12 years, I guess the novelty kind of wears off. He didn't have to get as many this time.
Yeah, he's old news now. But like I was telling you earlier, though, his high school best friend's brother is here, John Hicks. These guys are both from the same very small rural high school back in Virginia. I'm sure there's other examples of that, but probably not too many where you've got a pitcher-catcher tandem from the same little high school on the same major league team.
Very cool. I know we did that story a little bit earlier this year. Very cool. Of course, Hicksy not behind the plate tonight. James McCann doing a pretty good job catching him right now. I'll get out of your way. I'll let you guys watch your boy. I know it's special to have a chance to watch him this close to home. Kat, thanks for taking a few minutes. All right.
Thanks. Good to see you.
All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Johnny, thank you. Rod, do you think Kathy and Richard Verlander still get nervous watching their son after all these years?
Well, I think Richard gets a little nervous, like most dads do. Moms, they don't really care. They just want to see their son out there. They want him to do well, but even if they do bad, it doesn't change anything. Dads, I think, wear it a little bit more. And you can see Mom, although she was talking to Johnny, she wanted to watch the game. They're great people.
They are.
You see them all the time. Just a wonderful, wonderful family.
Here's the 2-2, and it's hit in the air to right field. Ducey going back to the track, to the wall, and gone. An opposite field home run for Manny Machado.
That is the first home run for Manny in nearly a month.
Both of the homers against Verlander to the opposite field.
That means that Verlander might have to start to come inside just a little bit. I pointed out the first hit that Manny Machado got today, and it was a really good breaking ball that was down away from him that he singled with. This time it's a two-seam fastball at 96, and Manny had a really good swing at it and hit the ball the opposite way against the traffic about 6-7 rows back.
Mom Kathy was hoping to will that ball in the ballpark, but it left. 107 miles per hour on the exit velocity on the home run by Manny Machado.
Well, we knew this would be a good baseball game. We know that the Orioles have good power, and there's nothing wrong with giving up solo home runs.
Scope with a big time rip up top. The count is 1-1. Scope struck out in the first. JV has fanned 4 in this game. Orioles had their first lead of the night. Off the mask.
And Verlander's got his foot on the gas pedal a little heavier now after the Machado solo shot the opposite way. But I'll go back to it one more time. If Verlander would start to show inside just a couple of times, he'll get away with some of those pitches that are away to some of these right-handers. But you've got to show in there.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Should be the third out of the inning, isn't it? Why aren't the Tigers leaving the field? That's the third out.
Wow.
Nobody knew.
Really?
Not even the Verlanders are thinking, what in the world?
I mean, I've never seen every single player not move.
4th inning, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Girls on the Run in their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved this fall and visit foxsportsupports.com. Gausman with the lead now for the first time, and he delivers inside to Miguel Cabrera.
A split-fingered fastball there that time at 83 miles an hour that Gausman threw inside to Miguel Cabrera. Mickey's first time up. Mickey got a lot of fastballs.
Pulled on the ground to short. Right there is Beckham. Another hard hit ball straight at the shortstop. One gone.
Speaking of fastballs, Gausman came out in the very first inning and gave a home run to Adduci. This was on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Adduci sliced it the opposite way in the first row. The very next batter, Jay Up, turned on 95, and then Gausman started to get the ball up in the strike zone where he makes his money. Elevated heaters, 95, 96. Then he started to get the swings and misses and the takes, and then he went back to the bottom of the strike zone the second time around.
Castellanos looks at a strike. Tigers have only one hit since the Upton double in the first.
Using that fastball a lot today. 67%. We knew as much coming into the game that he likes his fastball against Detroit's bats.
Gausman had that lengthy first inning. He is 9 of 14 now in first pitch strikes.
He really hasn't used his slider all that much today.
'98.
He's averaging 96, 97. He's thrown 64 pitches, 65. And nearly half of those have been 95 and above. 32 95 and above so far.
Gausman was a first rounder in 2012. That was the year that Correa went first, Buxton went second.
Ooh, that was a good draft.
Zunino went third, and then Gausman fourth. And he just missed inside. He came in there but too far. 3-2.
Gausman sits 8-7 right now. This is the first time he's been over 500 in his big league career. His best year was 7-7 back in 14. With this kind of stuff.
Fouled away.
Just a matter of time, though, before this guy figures it out, Mario, and he turns into a really good big league pitcher for a number of years. He's got way too good of stuff not to.
Well, you would think he's still only 26 years old.
He's having a nice conversation with Daniel Norris just a couple of days ago on the Tigers bench, and he's kind of getting an update on where he is and how he's feeling. And he was talking about how tough it is to have success in the big leagues as a youngster. He said what Michael Fulmer's doing is unheard of.
Yeah.
He said most of us, man, struggle. Most of us, the light doesn't come on for a while. So, I mean, he's not down on himself. He just knows that Michael Fulmer is a different beast. And most guys are like this guy, Kevin Gausman.
Fouled away again.
Or another example we like to use, Danny Duffy. A young guy that struggled early, finally figured out some things. One guy we know that didn't really struggle young too was Justin Verlander. He came out one Rookie of the Year, so he didn't struggle.
Nope, not at all. In 2006, that Rookie of the Year season. There's a walk for Castellanos. 1 on 1 out. We check in now with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. The Yu Darvish deal to the Dodgers already strengthens a team that was running away with things in the National League.
They are playing 700 baseball. They have 76 wins and they've lost 32 games.
There's a strike call.
That's 40-something games over 500.
Well, it is, and I don't know.
Too early, you think?
Yeah,
Peak it too soon?
I always wonder about that. I mean, that That was the 2001 Seattle team. How many games they win?
113, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and they
got bounced out.
So I mean, you just never know. And I go back
It's a valid
as well
point. It's a valid point.
to the Tigers team in 2014 that played the Orioles. I mean, they faced Baltimore with Scherzer, Verlander, and Price.
All rested.
All rested, and they got swept. So
you never know.
You don't know in the playoffs.
This much we do know. Whichever team has the hottest bullpen is usually the team that's going to get to the World Series.
Bullpen, bullpen, bullpen. Right back up the middle, knocked down. It'll be a tough play, and got him. Wow, Scope. Well, I didn't think he had a shot. I know Vic doesn't run all that well, but.
And ball hit sharply, knocked down initially by the pitcher Gosman, and then you have Scope, the all-star, coming in barehanding the ball, throwing in do-or-die fashion, and really the only player on the Tigers team they probably would have gotten is Victor, and that's no disrespect to Victor. He just does not run very well, and speed is not part of Victor's game. We've seen some nice plays in this ball game already. That's the second nice play Scope has already made. He took a hit away from, who did take that hit away from earlier in the game? From James McCann.
Oh, right. In short right field, yeah. Here's Matuk. Mikey struck out in his first at bat. Tying run in scoring position now with 2 outs. Orioles went ahead on the home run by Machado in the bottom of the 3rd. Went around.
Gosman living upstairs with that heater, man. He gets a lot of swings and misses on it, so why not throw it up there? Tigers did a nice job of kind of forcing him down in the strike zone in the very first inning, but they cannot lay off that one up top. It's a tough pitch to lay off of.
Well, you talked about it on the scouting report. His chase rate is nearly 50% on high fastballs.
Yep, and the velo on it's 97, 98. It stays on the same plane. From the time he releases the ball, it stays on that same line until it gets into the catcher's glove. There's that slider. He hasn't used that very much tonight.
Should Matuk reach, McCann on deck. Off the mask. At 96, another red dot. Tigers led 1-0 on the home run by Ducey. 2 batters into this game, but solo shots by Beckham and Machado putting the Orioles back in front. Got him, strike 3. Matuk can't believe it. Uh-oh, he is really upset now, going after Doug Eddings. 5th strikeout of the ball game, and Matuk letting Eddings know about it. Right at the knees, but Mikey thought it was inside. The Tigers here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. JV facing Davis to get things started now for the O's, and a big swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, if you're Davis about now, you have a pretty good idea of what Verlander is going to do to you. He might show you a breaking ball, but eventually he's going to go right back to that mid-90s fastball right at your belt buckle until you show him you can catch up to it.
Fouled away.
Here's the first at bat against Davis. Pretty much all fastballs thrown by Justin, all mid-90s, all up in the strike zone, finally getting Davis to swing right through the last one.
Bender missing low, 1-2.
Good pitch, change the eye level. Ooh, see why they pitch him up top.
Oh man, he froze him there. See you later.
That was just nasty.
JV now with 6 strikeouts.
2 fastballs, then 2 breaking balls.
Here's Tim Beckham. Home run his last time up to the opposite field. It was his 14th of the year.
Already 4 hits in the series for Beckham. As a matter of fact, his last 4 at bats, all hits.
So now Beckham sits coming over in the trade on the 31st with Tampa. 8 hits, 13 at bats.
6 extra base hits.
J.J. Hardy on the disabled list. Beckham replacing him. The 1-0.
Wally Pitt.
Buster out the middle. How about that? Another hit for Beckham. It's a 1-out single. Fans spent an unforgettable weekend at Comerica Park playing baseball with former Tigers. The 2017 Field of Dreams Fantasy Camp takes place August 25th through the 27th. For more information, call 313-471-2550 or go to tigers.com. Beckham now 2 for 2. That'll bring up Joey Rickard. 5 steals this year for Beckham. He's caught 4 times. Strike 1.
Since the beginning of the 2016 season, no pitcher in baseball has thrown over to first base more than Verlander. He really tries to give James McCann a legitimate shot at throwing out base runners that have the ability to steal.
One ball, 1 strike.
Here are those numbers I just spoke of on Verlander. He's thrown over there 381 times.
Brad was asked about that before the game, all the pick attempts that Verlander has, and Brad feels that Verlander has a really good feel for when to do it, when not to do it, how to slow down the running game. But there is no doubt, more than anyone else, we just showed you the numbers. He will keep an eye on it.
Did Brad say that he allows Verlander to do his own?
Yes.
Slowing the runner down?
Yep, pretty much.
So basically, when Brad going through signs, he ain't doing that.
Well, apparently not. I think the word decoy fits that. Now there might be some of both, but it's a big swing there by Rickard. 1-2 the count. One out single by Tim Beckham. Orioles have had at least 1 runner in every inning so far. Spoiled that one. That one went sizzling by the on-deck hitter Seth Smith.
It's a tough assignment trying to beat these Orioles in this ballpark, especially the kind of baseball that they've been playing lately. I know Verlander's kind of had his way against them in his major league career, but Verlander has not beaten the Orioles since the 2014 season. Although he still pitches good against them, he hasn't beaten them in a couple of seasons.
The 1-2. Oh, we got him. Strike 3. Right at the knees. Record is caught looking. And that will be the 7th strikeout for JB now.
Doug Edens is punching him out tonight, isn't he?
Doug's got his own style there.
He's off into it.
It is the one time, I suppose, that the home plate umpires were able to show a little bit of their personality.
Yeah, show out a little bit.
Now Smith with 2 outs.
Seth Smith in his first time up today, he struck out. But it was a lengthy at bat against Justin Verlander. It was a 10-pitch at bat. You saw the number on Verlander, and his fastballs 95 and above. He's thrown 27 of them, of the 73 total pitches thrown in the game. Verlander over 2,500 major league innings. 34 years old. Man, has he been durable.
Durable really explains, I think, one of the reasons why Verlander has been able to stick around as long as possible. I mean, most guys that have thrown that many pitches in the big leagues, they'll end up on the shelf every now and then.
Right.
And they will not make their 32, 33 starts a year. It's inevitable. That is going to go foul. Hit hard, but foul. And so when we talked about leading up to the trading deadline and how there seemed to be teams that did not want to take on his contract to improve themselves, it kind of made us wonder a little bit. Were they concerned about the innings buildup? Were they concerned about his numbers this year? I don't know what they're concerned about, because the stuff certainly was there.
And the stuff is still there. And there's no doubt that Verlander could have and might still help a team that's in the hunt for a postseason this year. No, Tigers fans are hoping that's not the case. They'd like to see Verlander in his career in a Tigers uniform. That doesn't happen very much these days. One guy spent his entire career with one squad.
Sliced in the air to center field for Matuk. That'll end the inning. No runs, a single, 1 man left. On to the 5th. Now at Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in Baltimore, and Menards brings you the big money encounter. We're looking at the ruffle rotation this year for the Baltimore Orioles, and we look at some of the numbers, Rod, in terms of their starting pitching, and that's really where they have faltered.
You know, they kind of feel like their starters are pitching better now. Obviously, they have not been good all season. That's one of the reasons why they didn't make a lot of deals at the deadline, because they feel like offensively, defensively, their bullpen all intact, and if they could get some of their starters to start to pitch better, they might be able to get back into the wild card chase.
Yeah, they did pick up Jeremy Hellickson, who could provide them with a little bit of a boost, but aside from that,
they finally got their closer back, Britton, who had been on the disabled list, and he's about locked down in the 9th inning as any in the sport.
Orioles came in 3.5 back in the wild card. The Tigers 6 back. McCann given time. James robbed by the second baseman Scope, who made a nice play on him back in the second on a ground ball. Strike call got him looking, and McCann not so sure about that. One gone. We check in again with Johnny Kane.
Yeah, listen, guys, you know, I know we all appreciate coming here to Baltimore, a beautiful city, and part of the idea when you get out on the road, you want to go out and explore a little bit and kind of see, you know, what people are eating. Some of us like to do that anyhow. So earlier in this trip, I was able to get out there, right there in the Inner Harbor, which is a beautiful area there in Baltimore. Of course, you get fresh seafood right there. Went to Phillips. They've been slinging it since 1956. And we wanted to see.
Oh, what a play at third.
What a grab.
Go ahead, Johnny.
That was a heck of a play.
Oh, my goodness.
Machado, wow.
Are you kidding me?
Bad luck right there for Iglesias.
Unbelievable, really. I mean, that is the second brilliant play he's made in the series. He started the 5-4-3 double play in last night's game. He's already won a platinum glove, so he's known as a great defender.
Tigers want to look at it, apparently.
I thought maybe they thought the ball hit the ground, but I really couldn't tell from that vantage point that we had that time.
That'll stand. 2 gone now for Kinsler. Ian ground out in a single. Take another look at that play by Machado. Hammered in the air to center field. Ball hit well. Jones going back to make the catch right at the wall. And a 1-2-3 5th inning. We'll check back in with Johnny Kane next half. Tigers baseball. the fifth. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Joseph, Gentry, and Jones. Tigers trail 2-1. Homers by Beckham and Machado. Machado, a great defensive play as well on that scalded line drive by Iglesias. Fly ball in the air to shallow right field. A Ducey coming in, and 1 pitch and 1 out.
All right, boys, I was telling you about when we were down there at the Inner Harbor getting a little something to eat. We wanted to taste some of the local fare. We went down to Phillips and went out on the crab deck and had some crab cakes. And I mean, not as if I don't ask dumb questions often, but I did ask a dumb question. I asked the waitress, I said, you know, what's in a crab cake? And she was like, crab meat. But I had I think, homemade crab cakes one time before, but they weren't all that memorable. And I'm not going to say who cooked them, but I'm telling you, if you do come to Baltimore, obviously you can go any route via seafood, but certainly crab cakes exceptional. And now I'm a fan.
Who cooked them, Johnny?
Come on. What do you? You're a crab cake guy. That's what I heard, Rod.
I
You
like crab cake
cakes?
for sure. When you come here, you have to have them.
You come here, you got to.
Absolutely.
Who cooked the crab cakes? Come on, Rod.
Come on, Johnny, you can do it.
He's like coaxed me into it.
0-2 the count on Craig Gentry with 1 out here in the 5th.
Meanwhile, partner, we've got ourselves an old-fashioned pitcher's duel here tonight.
We do. And there is strike 3. He went around, and that'll be 8 strikeouts now for JV. Both
Gausman and both Justin Verlander, 95 and above, with unbelievable stuff so far.
Now Adam Jones with 2 outs. So what do we have here? JV with 8 strikeouts. Gausman has 6.
And Gausman, his career high in strikeouts is 10. So he's 4 off that pace.
Jones is 0 for 2. To right field. Ducey is under it, and that's going to be a snappy inning for Justin Verlander. 5 in the books here in Baltimore.
Call Sam calling the game. Ducey batting second against right-handers as he's done the last number of starts. Gets a fastball at 96 and slices it the opposite way against Kevin Gausman for his first Tiger home run and his first big league home run since 2014.
Ducey will get it started here in the 6th. Ducey up in Cabrera, 2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers lineup facing Gausman, who right now has had 85 pitches, and he's been able to settle in after that long first inning. Ducey been spraying the ball around, and he'll look at ball 1. 3rd stint of the year for Ducey with the big club. batting .281 down at Toledo. Fouled away.
Gausman has had 18 either 0-2 or 1-2 counts in the game today. He has been on the attack, and he's doing something that he normally doesn't do. A lot of first pitch strikes. This guy looks totally different from the guy that we're used to seeing. He has success against the Tigers, Mario, but in the past, he would be effectively wild. Today, he's kind of pitching in the strike zone and having a lot of success.
Well, he came in with an 0.44 ERA in his last 3 starts. Checked it foul, tried to get out of the way.
And we told you earlier, if you weren't with us 5 days ago, he pitched in that 95-degree heat in Texas, and he pitched 8 2/3, which is the longest he'd ever pitched in a major league game. So he's definitely trending up right now.
Gausman last year made 30 starts, was 9-12, but his ERA was a little over 3.5.
Not bad.
Not for this division, this league. Fouled away again by Ducey.
Averaged nearly a strikeout per inning last year as well.
Tigers still deciding on who is going to pitch tomorrow in Game 3 in the series. That was supposed to be Fulmer's game. Slice toward left field, and again, it's going to go foul. Michael on the DL now. The Tigers are waiting to see how they get through this game here tonight. Who they use, if they use anybody out of the bullpen, decide who will start tomorrow's game. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. One gone here in the 6th. Time now for the Bernstein advantage as Justin Upton rolls in. And when you look at some of the numbers on Justin Upton, he has been as good as he has been in a long time in many different categories.
And average on balls put in play over 350. On base percentage is way up. He's walking 2. And so he's been very, very patient, and we've well documented how hard he's pretty much hit the baseball all season long. A career high 43%.
Upton a double and a strikeout in this game. 7 strikeouts now for Gausman. Just a little bit low at 98 miles an hour with that 4-seam fastball from Gausman.
He's thrown about 10 to 12 fastballs at 98 miles an hour.
As this game wears on, he does not appear to be losing any velocity. Again, just about the same spot. 2-1. .48 now for Gausman, 95 or above. It'll bounce in, run it to 3-1.
He has not had many counts like this today, and where the Tigers have had somewhat of an advantage. But it's not much of an advantage if a guy can throw 98 miles an hour. But if you're Justin Upton, you got to be looking for that mid-90s heater should you get one here.
He did.
Jay might have swung at ball 4 there, but when a guy is throwing this hard, sometimes you will leave the strike zone and swing at something that you normally wouldn't swing at.
Gausman's 118 was the highest he's had in a pitch count this year in his last start. Going 8 2/3 over Texas, and a foul back out of play.
Gausman, his average fastball has been 95.2 miles per hour this entire season, which ranks him 10th among American League starters.
Fly ball left field. Gentry is under it. Didn't sound solid coming off the bat.
No, he got in on him. It sounded like he may have shattered that bat. Let me correct myself. he ranks 10th in the major leagues, not the American League, in velocity as a starter with that 95.2. So I shortchanged him a league.
No doubt. Pretty impressive. And he's now retired 7 straight. Cabrera's over 2 strikeout ground out. Sharply hit ball his last time up to the shortstop Beckham. Now he's reached 100. Again, 118 his high water mark his last time.
Yeah, that 29 first pitch inning is probably going to make sure this is his last inning of the evening.
The 0-1. 97 right by Miggy. Over the letters. Verlander for the Tigers tonight is whiffed a total of 8. Ground ball to the second baseman. Scope will throw him out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Tigers baseball tonight brought to you by Bell Tire. In Baltimore, the Tigers take on the Pirates this Wednesday and Thursday. Save on great seats with the weekday value package. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. All for just $19 per person. Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Back to the mound goes Justin Verlander. He's got Machado, Scope, and Davis here. 2, 3, and 4. Orioles on top by a run. Big swing there by Machado, who has a single and a homer in this game.
That one buckled James McCann. That's the first time I ever seen McCann get buckled back there.
Machado's home run was his 19th. And Doug Eddings trying to give him a few extra seconds to collect himself.
If you're just joining us, all the runs in this game courtesy of the home run ball. Adduci solo home run for the Tigers. Machado, Beckham solo home runs for the Birds.
Ball high.
And meanwhile, Justin Verlander and Kevin Gausman, the starter for the Baltimore Orioles, locked in a pretty good pitcher's duel in a hitter's ballpark.
Battling 98-mile-an-hour fastballs between the two. One and 2 on Machado.
Manny Machado has 2 hits tonight against Verlander. His first time up, he took a breaking ball that was nearly about to bounce and singled sharply into left field.
Machado's draft was the Bryce Harper draft. Harper went #1 overall, then Jameson Taillon of the Pirates, and then it was Machado who went 3rd. Nick Castellanos was part of that draft as well. It was the Tigers' first-round selection that year. Here's the 1-2. High fly ball to right field, going toward the corner. Ducey coming over. He'll have room. One gone. First time they've retired Machado tonight. This is one of those ballparks, Rod, where anything in the air just makes you kind of hold your breath.
Yeah, we've seen right-handers that usually don't have a lot of power against the traffic. That would be to right field, right center field, connect and hit balls that direction. In this series already, Beckham's got 2 home runs the opposite way.
Now, Scope.
A lot of the hitters were talking yesterday just about how much they love hitting in this yard.
Drilled to center field. Matuk coming on. Nice play by Mikey.
Do it, Mikey.
He was playing deep in center field. Had to cut that thing off. And another fine play by the center fielder.
Yeah, Mikey's got the mentality right now. If I'm not getting any hits, you're not getting any either. He took a double away from Adam Jones earlier in the contest, and he took a single there away from Jonathan Scope. Davis, a pretty good athlete.
87 now for JV, so his count is still in good shape. Mikey is a good athlete. I wonder if he's one of those guys who played football in high school.
He played some high school football. He's got that fiery football mentality too.
The 1-0. Davis has fanned twice against Verlander. And now he finds himself in the hole again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris spent some time on the DL this year. In fact, missed a month with an oblique problem.
Fastball up top.
Yep. See you later. 1-2-3 inning for JB. Another punch out. Give him 9 tonight. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Here are some of the happenings around the league. Addison Russell placed on the 10-day disabled list with a right foot strain. And since the All-Star break was putting up pretty good numbers, Corey Kluber, he's been awfully good.
He'll be in the Cy Young conversation again.
Yu Darvish still pitching tonight, making his Dodgers debut.
6 Ks for Yu Darvish. Dodgers leading 3-0, but that's nothing new. They win every night.
Kevin Gausman goes back out there here in the 7th. Castellanos looks at a ball low. Nick with a line out and a walk.
And then Gausman threw a season high, 118 pitches in his last outing. And it wouldn't shock me if that was not a career high for Gausman in his last outing.
Castellanos has a home run in his career against the Orioles right-hander.
Only the second 2-0 count of the night for Gausman. Gives you an idea of how good he's been.
In there, a strike called. They do have some activity in the bullpen, do the Orioles. In case Gausman needs some help. There's Michael Gibbons warming up.
And he throws that low 3/4, real hard sinker. Gibbons.
Slider that time, and the count levels now at 2s. Orioles still have Zach Britton closing games for them. There was the thought they would trade him at the deadline. They in fact tried to, but it did not go through. The 2-2. Oh, bouncing in way in front of the plate. 3-2. Britton's still an Oriole.
He has been well, arguably the best closer in the league the last couple of years.
You know, it's got to be difficult this time of the year. Well, now that the trading deadline is gone, it lets up a little bit. But going into that final 2, maybe a week and a half into the trading deadline, then of course the final week, these guys, man, some of these guys don't know where they're going to be in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
It wears on some of them for sure. Always getting asked about it.
He got him. Strike 3. Castellanos caught looking on a borderline pitch. Oh, Brad didn't like it.
We have seen Kevin Gausman a bunch, but I've never seen Kevin Gausman this good. And the Tigers came in swinging the bats pretty good. I mean, they had a nice series in New York. They swung the bats well against the Astros. Swung the bats well last night, but tonight Gausman's kind of put them on shutdown mode.
He just dotted the outside corner there
with
his
97
strikeout. His career high is 10. And here is Victor Martinez. Hammer to the air toward left field, slicing toward the corner, and it's going to be caught on the run there by Gentry.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is brought to you by Miller Lite. And Mikey Montauk in center field has made 2 dazzling plays. That ball left Adam Jones bat at 104, but he was able to run it down before it went shopping in that right center field gap. And then he also made a really nice play his last time up. That was Jonathan Scope came in and took a base hit away from him.
JV likes it.
You know what? Both of these teams have been good defensively because both of the pitchers are working quickly. Both of the pitchers are throwing a lot of strikes. So your defense stays in the game and they stay on their toes.
Right back up the middle, Scope.
There's my point.
And he got him by a step. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Gausman. brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet, find new roads. It is 2-1 in favor of the Orioles as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
And here is our Comerica Bank game summary. The Tigers got on the board early in this contest against Kevin Gausman, the starter, who has been pitching outstanding baseball. That was a solo home run by Adducey, his first as a Tiger. And then it was the Baltimore Orioles that got it going. Tim Beckham, since coming from the Tampa Bay Rays, has literally been on fire. Solo shot in the second against Verlander, and Machado, who had not homered in a while in a Bird uniform, he homered. Solo shot as well on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. But other than that, this has been an old-fashioned pitching duel. Verlander and Kevin Gausman, they have locked up to have a really good night as far as pitching is concerned.
Well, look at the numbers. 9 strikeouts for JV, 8 for Gausman, and only 1 walk between the two. 17 strikeouts between the two. As we expected in this one tonight, both Gausman and Verlander outstanding. And now here come the Orioles in the 7th. It'll be Beckham, Rickard, and Smith. Justin's pitch count has been better than Gausman's, so JV should still have plenty in the gas tank here in the 7th inning. And Beckham will lead things off. And for Justin Verlander, we talked about the fact that he really pitches extremely well in this ballpark. Tonight is absolutely no different.
Kevin Gausman's matched him pitch for pitch. This has been fun, really. I mean, both guys have had their foot on the gas pedal very heavy, 95 and above. Verlander with some good secondary pitches, but this is by far the best we've seen Kevin Gausman.
Well, a couple of home runs, the difference in this game. 1 for Beckham, 1 for Machado. And the Orioles have had the lead since the 3rd in this game. Beckham single and a homer.
Beckham's got that leg kick. I mean, he gets it up and he gets it down in a real timely manner. And leg kicks are hard to master, especially against guys that have the kind of stuff that a Verlander has. But he's barreled him up a couple of times today.
I've always thought, and obviously you would know better than I would, that guys with leg kicks would have a much larger window of maybe getting out of whack every now and then.
No doubt. No doubt. It's hard to maintain it. It's hard to get it up and get it down to make sure you stay on point with a good balance. But Beckham looks dialed in right now to me. He's just spitting on everything that's really close. He looks good. But he looked good to me earlier this year when he was in Tampa.
Career high 14 homers for Beckham. He has played his second, short, third, and first in his career in the big leagues. Orioles need him at short now with J.J. Hardy on the DL. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Beckham. Joey Rickard and then Seth Smith in the 7th inning. Only 7 hits between the two teams.
Yeah, Justin got away with a hanging breaking ball right there.
Orioles box. Machado a couple of hits, including a homer. And Beckham has the other 2. That's it. Little chopper. Verlander diving play will have no play. There was no way JV was going to get to his feet anyway had he fielded that ball cleanly. It's a 3rd hit of the game for Beckham.
It's great hustle by Justin. I don't know if Castellanos is able to throw Beckham out. Beckham has pretty good speed. Had he allowed that ball to get past him and Castellanos make the play, I'm not so sure. It's still not an infield single. What do you think?
I think it's still an infield hit. Yeah, but even if Justin doesn't make that play, it's going to be really tough. Beckham runs so well. So a man on now, nobody out. McCann out to the mound to give JV a bit of a breather.
And you can see where the rest of the defense was. Nicholas had a few more feet to go before he got there, and Beckham, yeah, he would have been safe.
Fifth hit of the ball game for the Orioles. Here is Joey Rickard.
Rickard has 2 sack bunts this year, if you're thinking along those lines.
He drops it down foul.
And Buck Showalter trying to get one more run across the board for his squad. At least get a runner in the scoring position, knowing how good Justin's been here tonight. Runs have not been easy to come by. Buck Showalter also unconventional as a manager. He would not be afraid to put a hit and run on in this particular situation with the combination of the base runner Beckham and the hitter Rickard.
Open to the right side of the infield with the runner being held. Throw back. Also has 4 bunt hits to go with his 2 sacrifice bunts. Justin has not had to pitch from the stretch often tonight. In fact, neither pitcher has. And again, Verlander going right back to first base. JV had retired 8 straight before the infield single for Beckham. Look out. He was showing bunt, had to buckle out of the way. That ball came up and in.
It's a nice job there by Verlander, anticipating that Rickard would be bunting again, so he threw the fastball upstairs. And very difficult for the batter to get on top of this fastball upstairs and bunt the ball on the ground. And Verlander trying to get the pop up here. And Rickard will pop it up if he tries to bunt the ball up around his letters.
Popped it up, and Cabrera's going to haul it in.
Hello, Dollar.
That'll help one away as Rickard is retired and they pop to first base. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device. Fox Sports Go. Download the app. Take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Well, one away now. The runner does not advance. Seth Smith will step in.
That's what you're taught to do, although this fastball wasn't necessarily up that high.
No.
But he reached for it. And once you reach for it, that bat drops. You're going to pop it up if that head drops.
JV's up to 100 now.
Last 3 innings, pitch count very good.
Smith will stand in. Swinging a drive in the air to right field. Ducey going back to the wall. Leaps, can't get it. It's going to roll away from him. Ducey will run it down. They're going to hold the runner at third. Beckham will stop there, and it's going to be a double for Smith. Very nearly hit it out.
Smith has had some decent at-bats all night against Verlander. Got a 95-mile-per-hour heater there and turned on it. Ducey went out and got to the wall but could not make the play.
JV thought it might have went out of the ballpark, realized it was stayed in. He went back to cover third. And So now the infield coming in for the Tigers, second and third for the Orioles. Caleb Joseph will step in.
And Joseph has not been an easy out lately. Over his last 47 games, Joseph hitting at a .338 clip. Only a couple of catchers have done better than him. As a matter of fact, the Orioles catching trio is pretty good. Verlander needs a strikeout.
From the windup, swing and a miss, 0-1. 98. JV right now going to have to empty the tank here. It's a one-run game, second and third, one out. Fouled away, now he's in the hole, 0-2.
He wouldn't touch 100, would he, here tonight?
Wouldn't put it by him.
That last one was 99.
So he is just going all out here. He's not going to leave anything. This 2 on Joseph.
This is what the great ones do. They can sit around 95 all night long, but when they need to reach back to get 98, 99, they still have it in the tank.
Oh, look out. Down he goes. He is hit by the pitch. That's going to load the bases. Sounded like it hit his bat.
I think the Tigers are saying swing, too. He's out, I believe.
Yes, he's going to be out. First base umpire Jeff Nelson. And Buck Showalter not happy.
Buck going to get kicked out of this game. Wow, I don't know. Here's a better look. Ooh, it's hard, man. What do you think?
Oh, Buck is red-faced right now. I'm with you, man. It's really hard.
It looked like he was trying to get out of the way to me.
I agree. Boy, what a huge play in this inning. That's going to be the second out.
Monumental.
It's also going to be the 10th strikeout of the ball game for Verlander.
And for Jeff Nelson, the first base umpire, to give Buck this much rope, he must have known that he may have not made the right call.
So Buck will go back to the dugout. Big play here. Joe's saying, I'm just trying to get out of the way. Well, they still have to finish off the job here now. Gentry with runners at second and third, 2 outs, infield back, with the exception of the corners. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Strike called, and the count now 1-1 on Gentry.
Every single pitch that Verlander has thrown since he was faced with the second and third 1-out situation has been 98 miles an hour and above. Every last one of them.
In the air, center field should get him out of the inning. Mikey Matuk is there to retire the side. Oh, what a battle tonight between Verlander and Gausman. The 2 starters living up to the advanced billing in this one. 1-run game. And you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here in Baltimore, where the Tigers continue to trail. Our score is 2-1 Baltimore. Tigers fans are whooping it up here in Birdland.
Yeah, they are having some fun. Girls' night out.
And a beverage or two.
Double fisting them, too.
Wallside Windows pitching change. Michael Givens is on now for the O's.
And fastball, slider, changeup. Throws that fastball 69% of the time. Slider 21% of the time. He will drop down to a lower sidearm angle.
It'll be James McCann to lead it off here in the 8th. McCann, then Iglesias, then Kinsler.
And Givens leads all Oriole relievers with 57 strikeouts.
0-2. 95 from Givens. In the air to right field. And diving try, can't get it. Rickard unable to pull it in. It's a bloop single for the Tigers, and they have the leadoff man on as McCann extends his hitting streak. 14 consecutive games.
A great effort here by Rickard. Looked like he was going to make the play, but the ball got right underneath the glove, and by the time he picked it up, and McCann did not want to run the risk of trying to stretch that single into a double. Iglesias absolutely smoked the ball his last time up to Manny Machado, the third baseman, but you have to believe that he'd be bunting here, right?
Yeah, I would be surprised if he wasn't. And I'm surprised. There is strike one. Well, Machado wasn't buying it either. He stayed back to third.
Well, 3 sack bunts on the season for Iglesias, which is more than anybody else on the roster currently.
Oh, 2. Iglesias grounded back to Gausman, the starter, back in the third, and then lined out.
I don't think there's a reliever in baseball right now pitching any better than Givens.
Sliced again to right field, and that ball's going to drop. Base hit.
And the Tigers are going to get him.
An 0-2 single for Iglesias as he goes the other way, and back-to-back hits now. The Tigers have put the tying run at second base.
A nice approach. Both McCann and Iglesias, both guys hitting the ball to right field. A little 0-2 fastball, top of the strike zone. Iglesias fought off to right field for a single.
Givens had allowed just 2 earned runs over his last 30 innings.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that until that hit by Iglesias. Then I'm like, oh, it's on. We're going to get some runs against him tonight.
Here's Kinsler, who has a single and 3 at-bats. Strike one.
Kinsler performs very well in this ballpark, too. Loves hitting in Camden Yards. But a lot of the big league players do. Wow, Verlander, that last half inning. Huh, impressive. I mean, beast mode.
Well, again, Givens gets ahead in the count 0-2. Got 3 hits at the top of the Tiger box and a couple at the bottom.
Not a whole lot of offense in this game between both squads.
Ball high.
It's been a well-played baseball game. Mikey Mottuck's made a couple of nice plays on the defensive end. Scope, their second baseman, a nice play. Machado's made a nice play. It's been a well-played baseball game.
Little tapper right in front of the mound, and they'll get the out there at first base. Runners will advance now, second and third with one out.
That's as good as the sacrifice.
They'll bring up a Ducey.
Back in the first inning, Ducey, he singled for the only run the Tigers have scored here tonight. That was against the starter, Kevin Gausman, who was sensational.
The bullpen having trouble holding the one-run lead, though. It's 2-1 Baltimore, second and third, one out. Long conversation on the mound, and therefore Doug Eddings goes out to break it up.
You almost rather have a right-hander standing in that batter's box, to be honest with you. Yeah, left-handers are hitting 147 against Givens, and the right-handers batting over 200 against him.
The infield is in for the Orioles. Ball one high.
Ducey likes to hit the ball the other way. He has done it a bunch since putting on the Tigers uniform. About 45% of his hits have gone to left field.
Two 2-0. Upton waiting on deck. Way high, 3-0.
I wouldn't be afraid to let a Ducey swing here, to be honest with you. They might be trying to put him on to play for a double play, but if he throws me a fastball, I wouldn't be afraid to slash at it.
97 there from Givens, 3-1.
Some good arms in this game so far. Gausman, Verlander, now Givens. 4 red dots.
And a strike call. There's another. 99. Full count, 3-2.
And they wonder why offense is down from a batting average standpoint in baseball. You got guys throwing in the upper 90s.
And he walked in ball 4. That's going to load the bases. It'll bring up Upton. .365 this year with men in scoring position, 6th best in the American League. McCann a single, Iglesias a single, and now a walk with one out for a Ducey. Swinging a drive, deep left field, way back and gone. It's a grand slam for Justin Upton, his 3rd of the year. Do you believe that?
Oh my goodness. Jay up, did you?
20th home run of the season has given the Tigers the lead, 5-2.
He killed that thing.
Where in the world did it land?
Halfway up the left field bleachers.
And Cabrera looks at a ball inside. A slam for Upton. And the Tigers explode here in the 8th with 4 runs. Swing and a miss. The Tigers could do nothing all night against Gausman. They got him out of the game, and they have feasted, and Cabrera swings right through it. Justin Upton, another grand slam home run.
Man, he killed that thing. He hit a ball yesterday 452 feet to straightaway center field.
Two and two. Darren O'Day warming up.
And there had been no hotter reliever in baseball than this kid Givens. I mean, no one hotter than this kid.
Cabrera's out of there, and there are two gone now.
Looked like it was a breaking ball, and it was a hanging breaking ball. And J-Up caught it out front, and he killed it, and he knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. 91-mile-per-hour little breaking ball that Givens tried to fool J-Up with.
103 on the exit velocity.
And you know the launch angle was way up there, too. How about JV's reaction? Made me a winner, boys.
The ball inside to Castellanos. 2 balls and no strikes. Third slam of the year for J-Up.
And both Justin and, well, both Justins, Verlander and Upton, both grew up in this area. So I'm sure Upton has a lot of family and friends in attendance as well. So, and both of those guys had tremendous games today.
And Kevin Gausman, well, he has just watched a tremendous start go right down the tubes. 2 balls, 1 strike on Castellanos. Henry there to right field. It's going to be Rickard there to make the catch. Inning over, but a huge inning for the Tigers. And they come from behind here in the 8th. Justin Upton with his 3rd grand slam of the year. He punched this ball, much to the delight of Justin Verlander. Tigers have the lead.
Tigers have increased their lead in this ball game 5-2 over the Baltimore Orioles, courtesy of the 3rd grand slam of the season by Justin Upton. It left his bat at 103. What a year he's having. His 20th home run.
So the Tigers now have gone from 1 run down to leading by a score of 5-2. And it's a Wallside Windows pitching change. Alex Wilson will step in.
And Wilson has started to pitch better. He feels like his velocity is back. He's gotten his fastball up to about 94. He'll also cut the fastball about 90, 91.
One hopper, Iglesias with those soft hands scoops it up, one gone.
Adam Jones has swung at the first pitch in 3 of his 4 plate appearances today.
We'll take it, 1 out. Here's Machado. John Hicks now has come on to catch. Hicks behind the dish, and Romine is the new third baseman. One ball, no strikes on Machado. Home run back in the 3rd for a while. Looked like it might be the winning home run. But the Tigers have come roaring back with a 4-run 8th inning. And now Rondon warming up with Stumpf. Shane Green surely not available tonight.
He has pitched 3 days in a row. Final 2 games of that series in New York, and he got a save in last night's game.
One of those saves was a 5-out save in New York too.
I have a feeling that Brad is going to watch Green a lot more closer down the stretch, because right now he has thrown in more games than anybody in the American League. So, and he probably will go down as a closer anyway, right? Those guys don't usually pitch as much as your 7th inning, your 8th inning guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
And because usually they only come in a winning situation.
Back up the middle, Iglesias. Oh, look at that play. Spinning, throwing, got it.
Oh, Iggy.
Jose Iglesias with a spectacular play up the middle.
That is absolutely crazy. If he doesn't win a Gold Glove this year, man,
he'll never win one.
Look how far he had to run to get to this ball, man. He ran 20 feet to get to this ball. 20 feet. And finally got there and able to stop on a dime, and not only that, throw accurately to Miggy. That is an incredible play. This has been a fabulous baseball game. It's ridiculous.
2 gone now, and here is Scope. There's no way that play should have been made. Scope is 0 for 3. Strikeout, strikeout, flyout. I really do think it gets back to the point you made earlier in the game about how when you have 2 guys working as quickly and efficiently as the 2 guys did tonight, it makes a difference in the defense.
And the Orioles are playing for something. They're back in the race, only 3 back in the wild card.
High drive in the air to center field. Matzuk going back to the wall, leaps, and he made the catch. Mikey Matzuk with a soaring play in left center, and the Tigers playing some unbelievable D.
That is the 3rd fantastic catch that Mikey Matzuk has made tonight.
You can never see this enough. Matzuk scaling the wall in left.
Oh, these boys is balling tonight.
Have the lead here. Justin Upton, a major player this evening, but the Tigers playing some great defense in that half inning as Darren O'Day checks in now, and the wall side windows change.
And O'Day pitching in his 41st contest. He has 13 holds, 48 strikeouts. He's walked 18. He's given up 6 homers. He throws from down under.
Strike one on Victor.
I don't know about you, partner, but this has been the most exciting game of the year for me.
Well, I agree, and I think a lot of it has to do that when you have a pitching duel, I mean, you don't necessarily need, 10, 15 runs a game to make it exciting.
Just all the runs, and not all the runs, but the defense, and the way Verlander and the way Gausman went at it here for 7 innings.
Ground ball to second, Scope on the backhand. One gone. As we look at the probables now. Presented by Wallside Windows, it'll be TBA for the Tigers against Wade Miley and Sanchez and Jimenez. But I think, Rod, if anything, they might be leaning toward Verhagen.
Well, he'd be a nice option because he's stretched out. He was pitching down in the minor leagues before he came up just about a week ago. So he would be a likely candidate to go up against this Baltimore Orioles team. They have a lot of right-handed bats as well, although they're good right-handed bats.
Tigers did not want to announce because they wanted to see how they would get through this game, if Bell would be used or Verhagen. Soppold on and on. There's ball 1 to Mikey Matuk. Big Bruce apparently going to come on and close this one out.
Yeah, we didn't quite know who would get the opportunity to close tonight with Green not available, but I think at the end of the day, and we thought it would be Rondon.
Mikey did not like that last call. He just was biting his tongue. Now O'Day with the 1-1. To right field slicing. Going to be a long run for Rickard, and it's going to get fouled.
And one more look at the Mikey Matuk catch there, and then the reception he gets in the dugout. I'm not sure if that's gone or not, but it's still a fine play.
A lot of smiling going on these days for the Tigers, who are 3 outs away from winning their 4th consecutive game, which would match their longest winning streak of the year.
It's been a nice road trip so far. 2 of 3 in the Bronx. Looking to win a couple here to start this 4-game series against a team that was hot when we got here.
Popped up, shallow right. Rickard is under it. 2 gone. MLB.com at Bat is your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Tigers home screen icons and features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today. Romine gets his first at bat. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Oh, 2 now on Andrew. Now O'Day ready with the 0-2. Tigers got a run in the first on the Adduci home run. They did not score again until the 8th on the 1-out grand slam by Upton. fought that one off his hands. Came up and in from O'Day. The Orioles, when we get to the bottom of the ninth, will have Davis, Beckham, and Rickard facing Rondon. Would chase. 1-2 on Romine. Now O'Day ready with the 1-2. Soft line drive caught by the shortstop. Beckham that'll end the inning. Tigers go in order. Rondon coming in for the ninth. The bottom of the ninth inning here at Camden Yards. 5-2 in favor of the Tigers, and well, they've hit the home runs, but they've also played some great D as well.
Yes, they have played some outstanding defense. Iglesias makes that dazzling play. You don't see a whole lot of shortstops go that direction and then redirect their body and throw that accurate. And then with the hops in center field, it's Mikey Matuk that makes a really nice play. Kind of reminiscent of that play that Adducey made in Yankee Stadium, taking that home run away from Todd Frazier a few days ago.
Mikey Matuk looking like his ex-teammate Kevin Kiermaier. Wall side windows changed now. Here's Bruce Rondon.
Big arm for Bruce, and fastball can reach triple digits. He's got a slider that averaged 89 to 90, sometimes 92, and a changeup on occasion.
Strike one to Chris Davis.
Man, we have had some high-octane fastballs in this contest today.
Bruce will take a back seat to not many.
That first pitch to Chris Davis was 100.
First meeting between these two. Here's the 1-1 coming home.
Ooh, that's not fair. That's just not fair.
For as much as made of the Rondon fastball, this pitch right here,
it could be a difference maker for him.
No doubt.
Because you have to gear up for 98.
Justin Upton grand slam home run. And this little charge here by the Tigers continues as they look to win their fourth straight. Swing and a miss. See you later. Davis out of there. He strikes out for the 4th time tonight.
Just an absolutely filthy pitch here thrown by Bruce Rondon. It's a slide piece, and it's buried at the bottom of the strike zone with wonderful location.
They haven't been able to get Beckham out tonight. 3 hits.
Beckham up there looking for that cheese, and Rondon pulled the string on him.
Beckham homered back in the 2nd. Tied the game at that point. Off JV. You know, you look back at this game and there's always turning points, and really I think when you look back, you got to go back to the 7th inning on that strikeout of Caleb Joseph. The ball actually hit him, but the umpire ruled he went around and swung.
That pitch Verlander threw at 101. I cannot remember the last time Verlander threw a pitch at 101.
Pulled on the ground off the glove of Romine into left.
Another hit for Beckham.
He is 4 for 4 tonight. 3 singles and a homer.
And Romine, 1 step and a dive. He was able to get glove on it, but not able to make the play. Ball skipped right over the top of the glove. Nearly another fine play turned in by Tigers defense.
Joey Rickard will stand in. Orioles need another base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Strike 1. Wilson pitched a 1-2-3/8 with some help from his defense. Oh, he froze him again.
Alex Wilson, the elder statesman in the Tigers bullpen, has really taken Bruce Rondon under his wing since Rondon has come back up to the major leagues. Justin Wilson, when he left to go to the Cubs, Alex Wilson lost his throwing buddy, his throwing partner every day.
Drilled foul down the left field line.
And somehow when Rondon got called up after the trade, those two have hooked up now. So they throw together every single day. They run together in the outfield before the game. And I think Wilson, Alex Wilson, has had a very nice impact on Bruce Rondon.
Calming influence, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, because of the fact that he's so talented. And sometimes Rondon does some things that make you scratch your head. And Willie said he's not afraid to get in his face.
Runner goes on 0-2. Whoa, look out, way high. Beckham in there standing up.
So I think it's real cool that Alex Wilson's kind of taken him under his wing this time around that he's in the big leagues, and going to help him make the necessary adjustments to continue to get better.
Hicks out to the mound and talked with Rondon. Well, he's had a couple of meltdowns this year, and you know it's been well documented that Bruce got sent home a couple of years ago. The home stock his thing this year when he hit him. But the talent is undeniable. Here's the 1-2. Held up. 2-2.
And it looked like Rickard held up.
Way high into the backstop it goes. They're going to throw to third base. Out at third.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Oh, my goodness. It was ball 4, right?
Ball 3.
It was ball 3. Well, they're going to look at this. That thing sailed to the back. Oh, man. Came right back to him. How about that for lucky break?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, right back to Hicks. Look at it.
Right off that brick wall. It's like he's playing catch in his yard. Waiting for the tag. Well, we're going to challenge here. You might as well take a shot.
Yeah, you might as well take a shot. Beckham is like, I cannot believe that.
If that ball just bounces a couple of inches either way, he's in there.
Right.
But he came right back to him.
Keep in mind, too, that Beckham only playing in a handful of games here at this ballpark, so he might not know how that ball comes off that wall, whereas the other Oriole players, they know that's brick back there. They know that ball's going to come back aggressively to the catcher. They may have not gone to third base. Not necessarily a mistake by Beckham. Ooh.
Sneak it in.
It's going to be, I don't know what they're going to call here.
Well, again, the key is the call was out.
Is it enough to overturn it? Obviously, what the Orioles are saying that right hand got on the bag before the tag of Castellanos.
Let's see what they have. Call him out. Out.
Not enough to overturn it.
No.
What a break.
So there are 2 outs now. Bases empty. 3-2 the count on Rickard.
Seen some of everything in this game tonight. Very entertaining baseball game.
Here's the 3-2. Got him, strike 3 to end the ball game. Rondon nails this one down, and the Tigers with a comeback win tonight. They've won 4 in a row. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. Mickey York standing by with Tigers Live postgame.